Welcome back to the channel. Your boy Hugh Jackman is doing seated dumbbell, supinated bicep curls, goblet squats, and flat barbell press, and we gotta coach it up, so let's get into it. All right, so we haven't done a coaching up in a long time in person, so we're gonna go over these three exercises. I'm gonna show you exactly what he's doing wrong. We're gonna have a little side by side, and then I'm gonna show you guys how to do it right. Again, we're at the beginning of the year this year. A lot of newbies in the gym, and a lot of people going back to the gym, probably making the same mistakes as last year, or just some new mistakes, or creating some bad habits. Anyway, let's get into it. Big up to Hugh Jackman for having the nicest set of arms with veins popping all over him. Look like a damn highway in LA. Either way, why am I rhyming? So Hugh Jackman is doing your supinated curls, which is good. For his form, for the most part, is pretty good. You have him opened up, he's here, and he's curling up, and he's doing the same, very similar mistakes a lot of people do. So as you can see right now, I'm doing these curls, and you see like my arms end up like coming up a little bit, my wrists moves a little bit, and they kind of like just drop to the bottom, and I'm going down. Now he's got a really good eccentric load on the way down, but then he just kind of pops up, and then goes down and pops up, and then his wrists kind of move when he's doing this kind of thing. And we just want to make it more optimal in terms of like making sure we emphasize the stretch or the lengthened contraction of the lift. What is the lengthened part of the lift? What is the lengthened contraction? Basically, it's when, for biceps, when I'm lengthened, right? I'm taking my bicep and I've lengthened the muscle. When I've shortened it, I've flexed. So when I flex my bicep, that is shortening the bicep. When I'm letting it go down, the eccentric load to here, that is stretching. That is the stretch part of it, right? The lengthened part of the stretch. This is shortened, and on the way down, this is when the bicep is lengthened. Triceps is when your tricep is basically like this. It has been shortened, and then on the way up to here, it has been lengthened. So we all know, and I've been saying this for months now, that we want to make sure that we get to the lengthened contraction and get down there for at least a second so we can get more muscle recruitment, because that's where we're gonna get the most amount of muscle. Studies have shown that on the way down to the lengthened part of the lift, that's when you get the most muscle recruitment. Now when we're doing dumbbells, the only issue is down here, there's not much. The traps right now are being challenged because at this point, the traps are lengthened. So how do we do this? Well, what he's doing right is from floor to core all the way up, chest is gonna be high. We're opening these dumbbells up a little away from our body so we're not dinging our legs on the way up. From here, we're gonna keep the arms straight. We're gonna have the chest up a bit, and we're gonna sit back a little bit, because now we're sitting back a tiny bit now from here. Now like this, if I do this, I'm getting a nice stretch in my bicep now. Now from here, I'm going to take a deep breath in and then pull the weight up, keeping my arms, my hands supinated. I don't want the wrist to start curling from the bottom and pulling up. I wanna keep my wrist completely straight, pulling all the way up, keeping it supinated, and from here, coming down, controlling the lift, and when it's on the way down, I'm actually gonna lean back a bit to stretch at the bottom, stretch for a second, and then pull it back up. 1001, 1002, stretch the bottom, pull. 1001, 1002, when it gets low, open the chest right up, lean back a tiny bit, slight bit, stretch, and then pull. And that's how you wanna do these reps. Hugh Jackman was like real close to doing it really good. So we're gonna give him like a 8 out of 10. Now you guys watching this, 10 out of 10. Let's go to the next movement. All right, next we have goblet squats. And yes, there are people still doing goblet squats like this. He's got the weight out like this, right? He's holding like this, he's over top, and he's squatting, he's here, just really working the legs. And it's not that bad. The only problem with this is, what happens is we end up trying to squeeze and adduct too much of the shoulders. We roll from here, arms are out, and then we're kind of leaning forward like this, because our elbows aren't stacked underneath the weight, and we're just doing this. And he might be working, which he probably is, which he is, but he's not getting the best out of this to make sure we're over center of mass the right way. So what we want to do is when we're doing dumbbell goblet squats is to basically want to hold the weight like this, underneath. So it sits right here, and almost like your hands are gonna be like a goblet. Take a little sip. Basically, right like this. Then we're gonna take our elbows and we're gonna pull them in. We're gonna tuck them in and then let them drop. Our shoulders are gonna drop. We're gonna depress our shoulders like this. And our feet are gonna be about, outside, a little bit outside hip width shoulders apart. And then we're gonna open our toes up at like 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. The dumbbell's 12 o'clock, left foot's 11 o'clock, right foot's 1 o'clock. Here's 2 and 10. Here's 3 and 9. Don't do this. You want a spinal fracture in your damn tibia. This hurts. I got no balance. So we're gonna go back to 11 and 1. This is 11 and 1. This is a little bit outside hip width or shoulder width. Getting our dumbbell, gonna get down, reach up and pull this guy right up. Again, we're gonna put like our palms, almost like we're doing a weighted curl, all right? We're at the top of a weighted curl all the way up here. There you go, Jeff. I got you, baby. All right, elbows tucked in, shoulders depressed. From here, I'm gonna go from the side. Make it easier, feet are 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I'm externally rotating at the hips. Again, this is my favorite cues to give because when we squat, most of the time we get this kind of stuff. So we got all those right here, this is great. You're like, thanks, Johnny. Then we start squatting, it's like, you're like, yeah, all right. You're like, what is this? I don't know what this is, it happens all the time. So what we wanna do is we wanna externally rotate so we make sure our knees stay in line with the toes. What does that mean? Well, it basically means like if I'm doing this, I basically like, if you've seen them shake the quads before, a quad shake. Anyway, so we are just externally rotating, basically at the hip, opening up our legs, our knees, so our knees align with our toes. How do we do that? Pretend there's a piece of paper on the floor, and you're trying to rip the piece of paper. That movement, do that until your knees are aligned with your toes. Don't continue so your knees start shooting out like this, because we don't want this. We want this. We want to run right over our knees. All right, cool. So now we got that back to the side. Forward to core, feet, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Externally rotate so the knees are aligned with the toes. Let the shoulders depress, chest up. Then your hips and knees are going to break at the same time. Your butt's gonna go back, your knees are gonna go forward. So we get this at the same time, not this. 1, 2, or 1, 2. That's what normally happens. Do it again. We get the 1, 2, or we get the 1, 2. We want all at once. Hips and knees are gonna break at the same time. So my butt goes back and my knees go forward. We're riding it down, chest up, knees are aligned with the toes, chest up and up. Driving it down, nice and slow. Control the bottom, stretch, driving up. Controlling down, stretch, and then driving up. Last but not least, we have our flat barbell press. And he's not doing it that bad. But what we have is, Hugh's got this, he's good from the floor to core. He's actually down there pretty well. Again, we wanna make sure that our heels under our knees, stacked, or back a little bit. But we definitely wanna make sure our feet are on the ground. But he's doing pretty good here. Where he's falling short is, where everyone falls short is, number one, we have this wide grip, which is fine. If the grip is good for you, you keep your grip, boo-boo, it's fine. But for him, we have this like really high, we're up here, elbows are flared a bit, and we're down, and then it's here, right? We're down here, then it's right? We have this, I call it the drop, we call it the drop and react. We're here, we're then we're right? We're missing that. All the contractions are important, but the part of this lift that's gonna get you the most amount of growth is the lowering of the weight, the pause and the lengthened, stretched part of the lift, and going back up. So what we wanna do is this. Get a decent grip for you. The closer you go, the more triceps you get, but you're still gonna get chest. The only difference is you're not gonna get as much chest as you want because that range of motion isn't as great as it would be if it's out like this. Now, if you wanna save your shoulders, do them like this. That's completely fine. It's like a semi-closer grip, and then you can get the rest out of your chest exercise with like accessories. But if you wanna flirt a little bit and get outside, I'll say like a thumb apart from the middle of the rough, or a thumb at the beginning of the rough is like good enough for anybody, really. And then we wanna unrack this thing here, and when we get it over top, we wanna make sure that if you watch me pull this over my chest, my shoulders are going down with it. It's like I'm doing a straight arm pull down almost. I'm actually kind of doing this. I'm doing this. That's exactly what I'm doing from my back. I'm going like this, and then I'm doing this. That's how I'm setting my chest and my shoulders and the bar so it's right over top of my chest. So I'm here, pick it up, and then I'm right over top. My chest is nice and tall. From here, I'm gonna control the weight down, stacking the joint so my elbows, fist rest of the elbows are under the bar. Right here, I'm gonna stretch, open the chest up, push. Control it down. We're gonna stretch, breath in, push. Right, we wanna get as most as we can out of this bottom part. Like when it's coming down here, that's where we wanna get all of that nice good old stretchness right here, and then stretching, staying engaged. So I'm not getting here and then sinking my chest and then flinging it up. My chest stays high. It's like I'm doing an inverted row. I'm doing an upside down row to my chest. Opening up, stretch, push. That's how you should be doing your barbell flat press. And if you can't achieve a rep like that, lower the weight until you can achieve the rep like that. Progressive overload, your form. Your form doesn't change. Your form is the constant. And then you're going to progressive overload based on your ability to keep your form through the full range of motion and the tempo. Then the load gets easy, we increase it by a rep or increase it by weight. But if you're watching this, Hugh, I'll train you. First one's on me. The next session, you gotta get your boy to pay for. I'm joking. We can do this for free, actually. Just get your boy out there. We cool. I love Wolverine. You've been my boy for a long time. But hopefully you see this and you can correct some of your form. If your coach is watching this too, help your boy out, man. Either way, guys, you're watching this, so take these cues, apply them to the next time you're in the gym. Let me know if you want me to do more videos like this in the comment section below, and what movements do you want me to go over? What movements do you want me to go over, or who do you want me to see coach up? Let me know in the comment section below. Until then, guys, you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep chasing. Peace.